Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Weekend Show and Tell with Chris. I am Chris, and this is a little thing I like to do where I show some of my collection and talk about it a little bit. And today we're going to be doing movie characters, specifically Gogeta, the fusion of Goku and Vegeta using the fusion dance. He only appears in one movie in this form, fighting Janemba in the movie. The American version is called Fusion Reborn, and it's one of my favorite movies. I really like it. It's kind of a shame this character doesn't show up more often in the show or in any more of the movies. But anyway, let's jump right in and get talking about it. I've only got a few of these characters. I was going to throw in some other ones, but I have enough to say about these guys where I think that'll pretty much take up our time for this episode. Let's go ahead and jump right in with this guy over here. Part of the old Super Battle collection. He is one of the other solid, less articulated guys. I really like the look on his face. I think they did the face really well. The hair is pretty solid, like a big old bunch of bananas. And I don't really mind that all that much. That's it's cool because it's one of the big solid guys. I like to do that when they're just one solid piece in the middle here. Pretty good, good details, good wrinkles in the pants. I mean, not like super details or anything, but looks pretty cool. I think he's pretty neat, a neat figure. The vest, whenever they do the fusion dance, they always end up with MC Hammer genie pants and a vest, a poofy vest of some kind, which makes them look kind of silly, but it's still pretty cool. This top piece is 3 different pieces. It's another one of those that comes off because it's separate, the vest piece. I'll come back again to that guy because I've got a few comparisons that I'd like to make with you guys and see what you think about my thoughts on those. This guy is on the other side of the articulation spectrum. He is one of the ultra-articulated, where pretty much everywhere you want to move him, he can move, he can bend, he can twist his hand, he can move his arm this way and that. I'm not going to do a whole lot of the moving around, because you guys kind of get the point. You can see all the places where where you could have him, like, changing the foot to kick, because there's, 4 different articulation points in the leg where, to make him be able to do, like, to stand in different positions and things. You can see where some of those little articulation points are where they would twist and move. They put a little bit of weird kind of purplish shading in the pants, which I'm okay with. It's kind of, I don't know, it's not a great choice of color for the shading in the pants, but then he's got the blue belt, kind of flowy in the power wind. And his hair is a little weird, a little silly, but I'll talk more about that in a little bit and get a better look on the face. The face, not so great, not one of my favorites. Seems like they could have put a little more effort into it. His nose is a little far away from his eyes and a little bit long, but it kind of works. And the hair is more of a shiny yellow rather than the regular yellow paint job. I'll come back to that guy in a moment, right after I talk about the biggin here. And I love the biggin. I think it's fantastic. I think what they did with the face is really good. I love the expression. I love his mouth. Like, it's actually, like, his mouth is open. You can actually see inside and see his tongue and all that. I really like the way that they did the hair. I think he's got pecs that go up to his neck, of course. They gave him big old nipples, which is kind of funny. But they really did good with the, like the details. You can see the veins and the little lines in his muscles and things. You can see all the crazy veins in his arms and stuff, and little points of, in his little poofy vest thing, you can see. They did some, a little bit of shading in the pants. The belt is very, very big, very, very flowy and poofy. A little bit, little details in the boots and the shoes and whatnot. Nothing special in the boots or anything, but the rest of this guy is pretty great, pretty solid. I really, really enjoy this figure. And while I'm on this subject, of, him having cool hair and me really liking the way that they did him, I wanted to bring up a couple of things. The way that they do the hair on some of these figures is interesting to me. Briefly going to talk about how I feel about that. This guy on the end here, like I said, one of the old school Super Battle Collection, his hair is very solid, like a big old bunch of bananas, like I said, and it's a lot like this figure. The Vegito from the previous one of the previous episodes where I was discussing the other fusion. But they it's very, very similar, you can tell. Very similar figure, very similar shape to the hair. Oh, this piece of his thing fell off, but you can see what I'm talking about with the hair. It's a big old solid chunk. They almost used the same mold for that, but it's actually not the same. I've checked into it. It's similar, but not exactly the same. And I just wanted to show some of the similarities with these and the other figures, and why I like some of the hairs, some of the way they did the hair differently than the others, and why I don't like this guy's hair, because it doesn't really look good from all angles. Certain angles it looks pretty cool, but it's a little too much. Like they put a little bit too much thought into the hair, but they didn't quite get it right. Just kind of how they did with this Vegito that I was talking about the other day. From certain angles, the hair looks kind of silly, kind of goofy, kind of stupid. From a certain angle, it just doesn't look right. The same as in this old Goku figure from the very first episode I did of these, or second episode, I believe, where there's a big old gap in his hair, and it's not right. He doesn't look good from all angles. And on the other side of the spectrum, you've got like this one, the Gohan with the big solid hair. And it pretty much looks cool from all angles. The spikes kind of work out from many different angles. The same as with the Gogeta. The Gogeta back here got very similar hair. It looks, as you can see the Gohan back there versus this guy right here, they've got the big old tufts, the big old banana tufts. And they look pretty cool from all angles, and I just really appreciate that a lot more. Even if it is a slightly less accurate, they're drawn differently scene to scene a lot of the times, but I think it looks better for a figure when they have the big old bigger solid spikes in the hair, rather than the tiny little ones that they try to make it work with the lots of little tiny spikes. So anyway, you can kind of get my point there. Hope I've brought the point across. The hairs are very similar, because, they look pretty cool from all angles, and they're big and solid like that. Anyway, that was all that I have to say about those guys, except this guy's got little tiny baby feet, and he's kind of hard to stand up sometimes. Anyway, that was the video on Gogeta, the movie characters #1 video. I hope you guys liked it. Leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll let you know what we're talking about tomorrow in just a moment. More movie characters. Mostly villains. See you tomorrow, guys.